Oh, he's so cool. Oh, he's so lame. This guy's no joke, and this guy's a joke. This woman is freaking awesome, and this woman's a Mary Sue. I fucking love this guy. I freaking hate this guy. What the hell's the difference, though? Let's hop into it. Hello, my random viewers! Welcome to Randomly Offensive, and we are hopping into this Tuesday with character arc development. Oh yeah! And what better to jump into character arc development besides talking about the best OP characters to ever face the screen. Now, I will be doing another video about the worst frickin' OP characters to ever face the screen, because knowing how to do something good is important, but not as important as doing something bad. But I'm more passionate about the ones that were done good. So let's frickin' talk about all of them. This project is a beast, and it's going to be a 6-episode project at minimum. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into some awesome frickin' characters we've ever seen in our entire life. So really quickly, let's throw down some ground rules. We will not be covering OP villains that were done right, because that is another video. And we are going to try to mostly focus on side characters, because main characters have different type of character arc development. And again, there's enough meat there to make a whole other video. So, focusing on side characters that are so overpowered it makes your frickin' living room shake every time they even walk upon the screen of your television, and oh yeah! Ground rules set, alright. Now, of course, you can't even talk about OP characters without having to talk about the awesome, sexy, manly man of Eskanor. Eskanor is probably one of the most powerful, most beloved OP characters to ever step foot upon the screen. Every time he's on the screen, there is just epic amounts of hype that if you were to collect all the hype together, it would just blow up in a sonic boom. And why is this guy so powerful? And why is he so awesome? Well, the reason why is because he gets his power directly from his mustache. Just joking, that'd be far too powerful. I mean, look at that mustache. We have not seen a mustache that great unless it's Sam Elliott, but he had to take 200 years to grow his. So Eskanor's already got him beat. No, this guy gets power from the frickin' sun. This guy has basically unlimited power, and when we first see him, he dominates the screen. He dominates the anime. There is just no explaining the feelings you get when you see this guy. And the first 2 fights you see him in, he frickin' wipes the floor with his opponents. And his opponents are the most powerful opponents on screen up until that point. And they managed to do it without turning him into a Deus Ex Machina, because they did it right. And Eskanor is just a frickin' beast. Not only that, but the music they play during any scene that this guy is in is just, it's so epic. I have to play the soundtrack to this guy's theme song while I'm at work, because it gets me so hyped. I just want to go find the most muscular guy I can find and punch a grandma. Because I'm not going to punch the big guy, because I'm built like a twig, and I just like looking at muscular guys. Like, no homo or anything, but it's impressive to see what you could turn your body into with hard work and dedication, and it's impressive. It really is impressive. But I digress. We're talking about Eskanor here, not my weird brain and how it works. So, Eskanor, how is it that you can create such a powerful character that he's not seen the same way Captain Marvel is? How is it that you can do an OP character so right that he is never seen as a Deus Ex Machina, and we're perfectly fine with the hype that he brings to the television, even though we already know that he's gonna mop the floor with everybody, because that's normally a big no-no. You want your character to have, to be able to have flaws, and you know he's not gonna win. But with Eskanor, when he shows up, we know he's gonna beat the crap out of his opponent, and we're looking forward to it. So how do you do something that right? Well, honestly, they made it look pretty frickin' simple. subversion of our expectation is exactly what they did when first introducing the massive, mighty beast of a man, Eskanor. So, what they did was, after the main character Meliodas got a 10 times power boost and became even more powerful than we thought we'd ever see in the anime of the 7 Deadly Sins, he then mentions that Eskanor is even more powerful than he is. Now, in the back of our minds, we're thinking, holy crap, that's a strong guy, and he's going to possibly ruin the show because he can become a Deus Ex Machina. However, after being introduced to Galland, who the 7 Deadly Sins have no chance of facing, Eskanor is finally introduced as the last main character to be introduced. We've been waiting forever to be introduced to this guy, and when we're introduced to him, he is this tiny, skinny, wimpy little bartender. He resembles myself, but without the awesome mustache. So, with that, we are awfully confused. He doesn't act strong, he doesn't talk strong. In fact, he seems like he lacks a lot of self-confidence, and his first go-to is to hide the friends and try to serve beer to Galland. Well, Galland decides to play a game with him and just smacks him upside the head, and it kind of looks like he just knocked Eskanor the fuck out. Just knocked him out, killed the guy. Now, we're introduced to him at night. This is incredibly important because as soon as the sun comes up, that's when we're introduced to the real Eskanor. Now, they're both the real Eskanor, but the Eskanor that brings hype to the table when he walks on the screen, that's the one we get when the sun rises. And this guy is massive, and he's confident, and he's calm, and he wields this heavy one-handed axe with no problem, while Galland was struggling to even get it off the floor. And Galland decides to continue playing this hit-for-hit type of game and is laughing. And Galland's laughing cockily, but Eskanor returns the laugh, but it's more of a polite laughter just because Galland's laughing. And then, boom, out of nowhere, he just slashes Galland in half. And of course, this doesn't kill Galland. Galland manages to seam his body back together, but then after that, the fight is so immense. The fight is so incredibly one-sided. Eskanor is just mopping the floor with this guy, and he gets to a point where Galland actually chooses death over continuing fighting with Eskanor. And then there's another scene right after Galland where a woman tries to eat his soul, and she sucks the soul out of him and eats it. Well, then she burns from the inside out, and his soul just returns magically in his body. Eskanor, at that point, we understand that he has, he's just an amazing character. He's incredibly overpowered, but it creates hype because of just the way he delivers his lines. And then we find out that at night, he is a weakling. He's useless in battle, but during the day, he gets so powerful that by noon, when the sun is at its highest point, he cannot actually fight or be around because he's so powerful that he can actually cause destruction amongst everything around him. So he's only useful for a few amount of hours, and that's how you do an OP character right, because he is no longer a Deus Ex Machina. He has to be used at the perfect time. He's a trump card. He is the ace in the hole. And if you get your timing off just wrong when using him, then you're screwed, right? And so that's how you make a hyped OP character. And from that point on, every time he enters the screen, he is no longer just a hyped up character. He is in the hype zone. Hell, the guy is the hype zone at this point. And just the lines he delivers are just so full of flexing and hype that it's just amazing. There's one guy just throwing facts his way, just saying, hey, I'm gonna golf up your son. You cannot hurt me, and nothing you do will be able to damage me. And he's like, well, who the hell decided that? I don't remember making that decision. And he manages to contradict and just overpower everything that the guy just said, basically meaning that what Eskanor decides, that is now fact. Facts have nothing against him. He's so powerful. He can just change reality by pure will. And that is an OP character, and that's an OP character done right. Not only do they just deliver the best character you've ever seen in your entire freaking life, but he has a character arc because he struggles with his pride. He can't relate with normal people. And then when he is the nighttime Eskanor, he struggles with his self-confidence, and he still can't relate with people because he thinks so little of himself. And the character arc development throughout Eskanor's storyline is probably one of the most relatable character arcs that you could actually see being played on the TV screen. So that's how you do an OP character right. Make him relatable, but at the same time, make the audience's jaw just drop at the sheer awesomeness of the character. And if I offended any of you guys by comparing Eskanor to Jiren and saying that Jiren sucks and Eskanor is awesome, then good. I'm glad I offended you because Jiren frickin' sucks and is what you deserve. The next incredibly OP'd character done right is Saitama from One Punch Man. And I know I said in the base rules that we're not gonna use any main characters. However, Saitama is an exception, and it's my video, so I'm gonna do what I want. And yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. The reason Saitama is an exception is because he is played like a side character in his own movie, and we're all okay with it. They didn't Hawkeye his butt. They just told a story from a very unique standpoint, making fun of all the anime tropes in such a unique fashion. They turned Saitama into one of the coolest freaking characters that we love to see on our TV. So, how'd they do it? Why'd they do it? And how was it successful? As all OP characters are, Saitama cannot be beaten, and he can beat any opponent he's ever faced, no matter how strong that opponent is, with one punch. It only takes one strike of that beautiful fist of his to destroy anybody he ever faces. Now, this sounds like a boring character. It sounds like a Mary Sue type dude. However, they don't play in a way of you're wondering if he's ever going to win, or if he's going to win. They don't play it in a way where he has to just keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. He's done getting stronger. He's past that. He's bored now. He's gotten as strong as he can get, and he's bored. And the story of it is a hero who is being a hero just for fun, and he's trying to find somebody to test his limits. And we're rooting for him to actually find an opponent worth his time. And this anime spins it in a way to where you're actually rooting for the opponent. When a new opponent shows up in this anime, you're actually rooting for the opponent. You want the villain to be strong, and maybe even stronger than Saitama. You want to see someone give Saitama what he wants. The whole driving force of the anime is Saitama finally getting what he wants, breaking his boredom, finding somebody. And he also shows, like, there's always consequences to everything. Anime only shows the benefits to constantly practicing, constantly trying, but One Punch Man actually shows that there are consequences. Once you get to a certain level, you might actually get bored. It's okay to not be perfect at something. You just have to keep getting better. But if you strive for perfection, once you hit perfection, there's literally no reason anymore for what you perfected, because now it's perfect. There's no moving up after that. And it's incredible to see, and watching Saitama kick butt and just waiting for that one guy that might actually be able to put a cut on that bald guy's cheek is why we watch. And it's just fun to see. It's fun to see, and they did him right. And I'm glad they did him right. So, Saitama and Escondar. Fucking come on, guys, face off. We need a mashup. Let's see these two duel out. I want to see the Baldy go up against the beautiful mustachio muscular man, and I want to see who wins. Be freaking cool. It'd be cool. It'd be awesome. Now, there is one more character that really explains everything that I'm trying to say, and is probably one of the most OP characters. This guy could beat Thanos. This guy could beat Eskanor, Goku, Jiren, all of them. He could beat all of them, and he is the most powerful character to ever step foot on the screen before us. Yes, his name is Miroku from Inuyasha. Now, I get it. This is not the guy you think of when thinking about OP. If he were to get into a fist fight with just about anybody, the poor guy would probably lose in an instant. Hell, he can barely even keep up with Inuyasha. However, what makes him so freaking powerful is not only his awesome freaking incantations and his charms, but the fact that the guy has a black hole in his freaking hand, and all he has to do is unhold that and sucks everybody into a black hole for eternity, and boom, he wins the day. And this thing can suck up things from incredible radiuses. I mean, Miroku can suck anybody. So, with that being said, just exactly how is this making him so OP that he could beat anybody that we've ever seen on a TV screen? Well, it is incredibly so simple. He takes that little thing off his hand, he sticks it out, the black hole opens, he sucks everyone into a black hole for eternity, and they have to live in nothingness, and the range that he has is incredible. I mean, this guy sucks up trees, and pieces of land, and mountains, and boulders, and giant demon creatures. But how is he not a Deus Ex Machina? Well, the reason why he's not a Deus Ex Machina is because the more he uses it, the more he grows, and it eventually will not only engulf him, but it'll engulf everything around him. So it makes him the most OP character to ever step foot on the screen. Also is going to be his internal doom. And so the thing that makes him so powerful will also be his death. And that is how you make a good OP character, because he's not a Deus Ex Machina. You don't want him using it all the time because you don't want him to die. And the guy's a charm. You gotta love the guy. Throughout the 7 seasons of Inuyasha, which I am so sad they ended it, it's probably one of the best animes ever, and as far as I'm concerned, so many animes have tried to replicate this. The only reason I watch Demon Slayer is because I feel like it's a valuable and respectable enough replacement for Inuyasha, but God, I miss this show, and Miroku carried the show. He was one of the best characters. This guy was a player, he was a simp, he was sarcastic, he was brave, he was strong, he was scared, he was a chicken shit, but he was also the bravest one out there. He was the most logical, but he was also the dumbest. This guy just bounced back and forth. You can never get a good read on him until you got to know him through the show. And once you got to know him, there was just so much depth to this character that, oh my goodness, it's unbelievable how much depth is in Miroku. So, what can be learned from Miroku? Well, when you make an OP character, he doesn't have to be full of 10-pound freaking... He doesn't have to weigh 10 million pounds of pure muscle. He does not have to destroy the entire universe with a snap of a finger. He does not have to be able to knock someone out with one punch. All he needs is the ability to defeat anybody, but yet at the same time, reasons and stipulations that make it so you don't want him to do that. Now, Eskanor is a great example of how to do an OP character right, don't get me wrong. But his limits are based off of situations that he cannot control, and the audience is aware of when it can happen and when it cannot. One Punch Man has no limits, and you're aware of that, and it pushes the story in a different direction. Miroku, however, you don't want him to use the power that makes him OP, because the love you have for the character, the love you develop for him, overpowers the need to even have him as an OP character. You don't want him to be an OP character. You feel bad that he is. You create a connection with Miroku in a way that makes you not give a shit about how powerful he is, because you care about him as a human being. And that is the best way to make an OP character. And that's how you do an OP character right. Because just having a character so strong that he can destroy the entire universe is never enough. You need a character that the audience can relate with, that the audience can fall in love with. And that's how you do it. That's why you do it. And hype is great. Falling in love and just being hyped for a character is fantastic, and Miroku delivers on that. When he starts uncovering that thing, you know shit just got real. When he starts uncovering his hand, you know that shit's about to hit the fan, and he's about to dominate the screen and defeat everybody that is in front of him. And then that is just amazing, and I can't explain it with words. So, those are my side character, OP characters done right. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of them, because unfortunately, OP characters have not been done right very often. And so my next video is going to be OP main characters done right, and that's even harder to find, because very few main characters are OP correctly, and a lot of them are a laughingstock. So, I look forward to that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to touch more on any of these characters, do let me know in the comments. I'm probably going to do a whole deep dive analysis on Miroku, because honestly, I forgot how much love I had for the Inuyasha series. It was the first anime I ever watched, and I want to cover more on it, because I feel like it's being forgotten, and that makes me sad. So, ending this on a high note, let me know what OP characters are your favorite, and what characters bring hype to you. What characters make you want to just shit your pants out of fear and amazement when you see them? Let me know in the comments. If you made it this far, thank you very much. I really do appreciate all my random viewers, and take care of yourselves. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.